I have seen like ugly guys with ugly girls and they are convinced that she's an attractive woman. And I'm trying to tell him like, bro, your gal ain't it. Literally pulled over a taxi driver, put him at gunpoint and were like, take this kid home. Really nice. The taxi driver took me home. You can manipulate with energy, you know? Like you can make someone believe you're beautiful by having such a pure and great energy.
I mean, we're all good because everybody has spoken for.
Nah, don't rub it in. Some of us ruin their chances of having a loving relationship because they dedicated their lives to talking to gal on the street.
They're married, by the way. I don't know if you clocked it, but they're married.
Oh, I'm sorry for speaking about sex so much next to you. I'm sorry for setting the expectation so high, bro.
I said, wow, what are you doing, bro?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Disruption Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Episode 279.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Back again. The year's going strong. Everyone's back into it. It's no the Bag Daddy.
It's Chief Olasoji in the building, baby.
It's your girl Moeezy.
The Prince.
Welcome.
What's happening?
And we're rolling with guests this year.
Back to
Acho was great last week, and this week we got a true Colombian.
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Maybe. We got Diego Day all the way from the UK right here with us.
Man.
Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
I'm gonna spend the next hour and a half trying to convince everyone I'm Colombian. For real. For real.
How you feeling, though, huh?
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Other side of the world, man.
Yeah, we're far.
We're doing evening stuff and my peoples are waking up back at home.
Yeah,
So
it's
true.
honestly like when I start to see just the way some people are literally waking up or haven't even jumped into the new year yet, and here we are already halfway through our day. I'm like, yeah, we are far.
I'm making calls to my team like, yo, what's going on? I need this done. He's like, bro, it's 3 a.m. Let me sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, wake your ass up.
It's early.
Yeah, nah, it is mad. But what brought you down to Melbourne?
I just
Or
had to
Australia even?
I
'cause
just
you
had
haven't
to
only
see how you
stayed
guys
here.
live. I told you, I just came here to see a snake. That was literally my
Have
only.
you seen one?
Nope.
No.
Shit's fraud. Shit is fraud. I ain't seen
man.
nothing.
Yeah, nah, there's not, you don't walk into them as frequent as people make it seem overseas. Also, these guys over here trying to solve this guy.
I don't know how Carlson's mic fell apart in the first
Took
place.
his mic off the whole thing.
More professional
I
than
don't
this.
know what happened there, but alright, cool. We're back.
Hey, bro,
Back,
you're
we're
representing Melbourne in our podcast well, bro. We got international guests in the building, man.
Shout out the egos happening.
It's all right, bro. We can share. Don't worry about them guys.
Nah, it's good now.
Nah, I seen a koala and a kangaroo, so you know.
Koala would have been in the zoo then,
In the
yeah.
zoo, yeah.
No, I climbed a tree.
There's no.
I'm gonna show you a picture that I took of a koala.
Not just in the random street though.
No, face to face.
You know every koala has chlamydia?
Yeah, I heard about that. Same as most girls from South London. Bro.
He's big.
And do they also have two vaginas?
That's so cute.
I took that myself, face to face.
You went up into the tree.
You don't believe me, do you?
I believe you. I believe it.
Doesn't believe that I'm English. Doesn't believe that I scrapped a koala.
That photo look kind of fake, but it's
It's a clean photo.
Listen, can we cut his mic out again, please? I preferred it when he was silent.
But you've been finding it well down here?
Yeah, man. Happy to, as I said, happy to be here. Australia's a beautiful place. Good vibe, good energy.
What's the purpose of being in Australia?
I travel, man.
Yeah.
I love to see the world,
Yeah.
and I'd love to pass over from this world knowing that I've seen everywhere.
Yeah.
So
And wherever you are, you just make content out of it.
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
same
thing.
stuff, same stuff. 24/7 grind. A lot of admin work. Like we got a lot of businesses going on. So for me, it's I'm very lucky and fortunate to be able to do same stuff, different place, but definitely not holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Yeah, nah, you haven't been able to chill. with
Nah, we don't do holidays. We don't do holidays.
Ever.
Don't do Christmas. Don't do New Year's. Don't do none of that
Oh,
rubbish.
wow.
Don't celebrate birthdays. We just work.
I hear that.
all year round.
Yeah.
But no enjoyment.
I haven't taken a day off in over 4 years.
Oh wow.
Because I think I saw crossing into the new year or something, and you had a story of like the fireworks and all that. And like, yo, the New Year's on a Wednesday. This year we're back at it. Like we don't stop. I was like, nah, but I think we should relax a little bit, man.
It's
like,
crazy to me. I'm checking my alarm. Like it's 12 o'clock on a Wednesday and people are celebrating. It's like, you not got bed to be at? Like,
So what? So you didn't do anything New Year's?
No. I saw actually, I went back to my apartment to work,
Right.
and very fortunately, I saw 3 sets of fireworks from the window.
Yeah.
So I went out and did my content creation thing, took a couple of videos, and then went back to work.
Were you ever that person that was celebrating the New Year's, going wild, getting lit, whatever your celebration was? And did you have like a mental switch at some point that you were like, hey, I don't want to be that person anymore? Or were you always kind of like, hey, head down, I just feel like working?
There was definitely a lot of mental switches along the journey, but I was never a big partier or go out, or like, I would say I was just more framed in the eyes of society as opposed to someone who makes my personal own decisions. So now I'm just, I base my whole life off logic. Is something logical? Is it logical to celebrate on a Wednesday night when tomorrow one number changes in our diary and we still got to wake up with the same responsibilities, the same mission? That doesn't make logical sense to me. If I'm feeling a kind of way and my team have accomplished something amazing and we're absolutely worn out to the bone, would we have a 2-day celebration holiday? Maybe that would make more logical sense to me.
Yeah, fair.
That hasn't happened yet.
Like there's a reason for
my
you to
mission is
celebrate,
still like so far up.
The team is they're like, bro, I thought we killed it, please. We need it, bro.
Yeah.
Team is stressed.
They're all too scared of me to say anything, to be honest with you. But
The tyranny, man. Yeah. Oh, no, man. It's funny that you say that whole like one thing switching over because we all know that. Like it's logically, like we know that it just changes over.
we love the delusions. Humans,
but-
we love to be like deluded.
I showed my like a story of some people that they were losing their mind running around everywhere. And I was like, humans are actually kind of funny a little bit. Like I get it and I know why it's a joyous
But running
thing.
for
Like we
what,
made
like
it through a
fireworks?
The
year.
sentiment behind
The sentiment, some people that we started the year with aren't here anymore. But I was looking at them like, it really is just Wednesday, and we're running around screaming. I saw people rolling on the ground. I was like, damn, this actually makes us look a little bit goofy when you think about it. Man. But I understand it a bit. Like,
It's one of them ones. If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, right?
Yeah,
So
I guess so.
I actually have the same perspective as you. Like I do see myself. This is probably the most arrogant thing I say as a human being. I do see myself as like very different and probably above to a human generation, just because just because of my understanding, not because of how I look or how I live my life, just because of my understanding for life. And you know, and I do genuinely find it funny.
What do you think? Like, because you say it's because of your understanding. Then what do you think that you're our generation? Yeah, how old are you? 20. Coke. He's Colombian.
How old do you think I am?
I'll say you're between 23 and 26, right?
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So if it's based on understanding, what do you think it is that our generation has kind of not understood that is keeping them not at the level that you're at potentially?
There's two things. There's a side of it where it's like, I think people deep down know it, but they stop themselves from knowing it.
Okay.
Because it holds them in a bracket of safety where if you don't set the bar a certain height to achieve something, then you're less inclined to fail. Right? So I think a lot of people do that, which I'm not even to say that's a wrong decision. Because if we look at people, you know, stuck in the system, in the matrix, whatever we want to call it, they're not necessarily, you know, less happy than someone like I am who's broken out of that and set myself the stars as the limit to what I can achieve. I think it's just, a level of, for me, it's a level of ignorance. Like an actually questioning stuff. For me, it all starts with the question why. Okay. When you actually start to question why you do certain things, why we do certain things, and you challenge it, which takes a little amount of strength, then things become a different way to you. So I just say having the balls to challenge stuff as opposed to just flowing with life. A life that doesn't support us, right?
Yeah.
Life as a society wants us to fail, but we let that be the determining factor on how we make our decisions.
That's a very interesting question. Point. I know you're about to say something, but like the thing about, I've never heard anyone say it like that. Like, what was it? Life lets us fail. What is it? Life.
Bro, sometimes vocabulary comes out of my mouth. If I sound intellectual, don't watch that, bro. Just keep it stepping, man. Keep it stepping.
What, like life doesn't support us, which when you blanket, like nothing makes us special or different from the next person that's born or anything like that, right? Even the next person born in the same city as us or internationally, right? But I guess the different factor that we add to it is what we do with, I guess, the lot that we've been given. There's a part of it that we can't control, whereas like, if we're born into a rich family, then already we're set up in a very different way to someone else. But in a similar setting.
But also very disadvantaged in a different way.
For the rich person?
Yeah, very, very.
Let me hear that. What do you?
I've seen a lot of
silver
rich,
spoon.
I've seen a lot of rich people be very disadvantaged.
Yeah.
And I'll keep it as simple as, for me, I wouldn't say I talk about my childhood too much. This is as simple as it gets for me. I've seen both sides of the coin at the most extreme levels of poverty and the shit, and the most extreme levels of not the most extreme levels, but levels of wealth and comfortability, etc. And for me personally, now as a thriving man, I'm benefiting more off of the
experiences from
that
craziness.
side than the level of comfort.
Yeah. Well, I think as you say that, for sure, then there isn't necessarily much difference except for the physical trinkets that come with it. But yeah, what we do with what we have is what changes everything. Like, yeah, we could be born in the same situation as someone and they're completely two different lifestyles because, yeah, life doesn't support you going to the stars. That's like what we do. It's an interesting way to look at it in that kind of a sense then, yeah. What Carlos, you was saying?
Yeah, just quickly going back to the whole understanding. Like, where does that all come from? Is that how you grew up? Is that like reading a book, starting with why? Like, where did that whole thing come from?
Yeah, on that, I was actually going to ask, do you have a mentor as well? Like, do you have somebody that's older than you or your age that's
I've never had a mentor. I've had very, very good friends to learn from and very good environments that I put myself in. One thing that I did when I was very young, probably looking at like 2021, I put myself in with an older like group of friends who were all developing their businesses and, you know, I was going out to dinners with them and putting my check of, you know, everyone chip in $200. So I was there like, yo, like, I'm 20 here, like, give me a little discount, give me a student discount or something. But I was having to keep up and I'm like, how are we going to dinner and splitting a grand check? Like, this is okay, so this is normal, fine. How do I make this normal? I think traveling for me, like actually just getting out straight away. Jumping out, like I wouldn't say a lot of people do it, especially like from London. A lot of people are addicted to the hustle and the shit in London. The same stuff they complain about, they're addicted to. So
becomes all you know at a certain point.
I wouldn't say too much, but probably the traveling for me was the first thing that opened my eyes. Like I was walking around Mexico, which was one of the first places I really set up shop at, seeing 50-year-old fat men with like the most beautiful 20-year-old Latinas walking around their arm. I was like, she does not suck him off. There is no way in hell. Like, that is not happening. So
You started saying why.
Yeah, like, so what did that inspire you? Like, were you like, I want to talk to him and see like, what do you make?
Oh,
or what do you talk to? I want to talk to her. Be like,
I
why
saw
are
a
you here?
50-year-old fat Latino man and a 20-year-old beautiful model, and I want to talk to him.
Don't you want to know what money he's making?
Yeah, it definitely intrigued me, which I guess got me to start asking the questions. Why?
Yeah.
Why is so much stuff impossible? Why is the normal wage for a human being £30,000, $60,000 a year? You know, why do they tell me that I should go to uni? Why do they tell me that I should do this, this, and this? Why does my dad look at me some kind of way when I tell him that I'm making money online? Like, why is that so? It's not his fault. It's the way he's been brought up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I will say that type of mentality, I can see why a lot of people don't carry that throughout their lives because it's the type of questions and mentality that keeps you up at night. You're constantly like, why? Why am I not exceeding or succeeding in the area that I'm in? Why do I not have more? Why? And it's like, I know that, I guess that's why only a few people can actually live that type of lifestyle like yourself, where it's like, okay, wherever I go, I'm always going to challenge myself. I'm always going to challenge the people that are around me. Because it doesn't get tiring for you. It's not
gets
like
tiring.
I can imagine.
It's not something I'd say I directly promote. I directly promote guys developing themselves and becoming strong before they put themselves into certain situations in life. I definitely challenge people to try and be better as human beings and as people, but trying to escape that life and chase never-ending like chaos, I wouldn't say that's something directly I promote. What I will say to people is that you need to look long and hard in the mirror and be able to convince yourself that you're really that guy before you make them decisions. Like, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and like believe it, not just tell them like, yo, you're that guy. Like, luckily for me, I was always quite an arrogant kid, and I've just turned that into a form of like well-channeled confidence that I can use. But being able to look in the mirror and really believe in yourself as a person.
And I heard you say
important.
once that you need to look in the mirror naked for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
That's it.
super important. Super important.
That's
No, wait.
Super important.
On this before whatever you
Yo, we're
answer is
animals.
for
Don't
that.
forget we're animals. You don't see no lions walking around with Calvin Kleins on, bro. Like,
You told me who'll figure lion.
There's no motivation to lose weight or get in shape. Walk around topless in your house for like a week.
yeah, 100%.
And you just keep seeing yourself and you're like, I want to make change.
100%.
Is that the
I see, I
purpose?
hear
Like,
it,
to look
I
at yourself
hear
and say, yeah, I need to make some. I need to change how I look.
Nah, it's just like there's no
That's
facade.
you.
Like,
filter.
Like, that's
you
you,
see-
your
That's
raw.
fully you.
Yeah.
you see in this specific past year, fashion has just gone off the scales with what is become statistically like okay to wear, or you know, how we're able to express ourselves, which I don't necessarily think is a terrible thing, but it can cover up a lot. You know, suddenly we're
Acts
wearing
as a mask.
clothes with this amount of money,
Yeah.
and everything's a mask, right? Makeup is literally a mask, and I think it's very dangerous for girls that don't understand, you know, why and how to wear makeup essentially, in terms of am I just wearing this as something that covers myself from looking at myself, or am I wearing it to make myself look more appropriate for a certain type of event? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, fair.
I'm kind of scared of her.
Don't be.
I don't know. I'll give it 5 more minutes. We can swap seats. This mic's working. But yeah, so for me, it's like all about get completely naked, you know, and actually understand what you look like, who you are. Nothing to hide yourself from that. But yeah, we walk around too much with this facaded outlook of who we are, and very rarely try to understand who we are.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I always constantly think about as well. Like, how many people actually spend the time to analyze themselves or face or ask those kind of hard questions? And I think it's a conversation we've had on this pod at a point in time as well, where we're like, all right, we look at certain things this way, or something happens in the world and we feel this, but then so many other people don't care, or they don't. There's no emotion invoked, no thought process evoked, or some people are very happy with this certain lifestyle. And then we're like, who are we then to even tell them to change that? But then I'm like, shouldn't that be the standard that we set with how we live life? Like, with certain values, certain kind of morals, or certain principles, if we even just boil it right down to that. Like, shouldn't that be the standard of what we have amongst people? But at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, some people are content and they still do experience similar levels of happiness without that. But I'm like, how is that? In my mind, I can't rationalize how it's possible, because for me, without those things, I don't think I'd be happy without having a certain expectation of myself, or certain principles that I like, or guiding principles that I live my life by. I don't think I'd be able to say that I'd be happy or content with this life thing. But yet some people are without that. I don't know. I just, it doesn't make sense how it's possible.
For me, it's all about purpose. Like we need to give ourselves a certain amount of purpose. Call it like a water bottle. I nearly fell right into the English chat.
Water bottle.
Call yourself a water bottle. And, you know, we need to fill that the bottle essentially to a certain level and that's our purpose, right? And everyone will fill it with different things, right? And you know, some guys will fill it with sex. If they're good looking and then get sex often, they'll fill it. I did that for a long time, man. A long time. I thought I was, you know, sex was a form of my masculinity and how successful I was, and which it is as a kind, but then, you know, it gets unhealthy at points. And you know, maybe drugs and partying is a part of that. So we all have this bottle. It's about filling it up with things that for me are healthy for you. So, you know, can you fill a good quarter of that with the gym? And can you fill a quarter of that with work, and then a quarter of that with family, and a quarter of that with an ulterior purpose and impact that you feel is beneficial for society? But again, who am I to say that that's better than fulfilling the whole bottle with cocaine? Like, it's not my thing, but
the doctor, man, at least, please tell me a doctor can at least objectively say that. Someone, bro.
Yeah.
Well, honest, because you were saying you help young men. What is it? What was that? You don't know the phrase that you said. It's young men prepare for something.
He waffles, man. He doesn't remember.
What?
It looks like what I just
wait, like I said.
Yeah, you said it's something like.
Oh, the line that I said.
Yeah.
The
It's Carl.
we both know what I'm talking about.
So what does a prepared young man look like? Like, what are they? What's the confidence based in? What's all that kind of stuff in your worldview? Like, what's
awesome.
that?
So to keep it simple for me, it's someone who's self-transcendent, someone who can look at themselves and really dig into themselves, honestly, and be brutally honest with themselves, because a lot of people, as we just talked about, mask and hide and cover, which doesn't help you achieve what you want to achieve. Secondly, someone who's not scared to fail and be rejected in life. You know, I've been able to prove that essentially in the form of talking to girls and approaching girls, but be that with job interviews or family situations, or being like unapologetically a version of yourself that you've worked hard enough to achieve. Not unapologetically yourself, which is a fat, lazy piece of shit. Unapologetically a person that you've actually, and you're consistently working hard to achieve. So for me, yeah, it's about that level of confidence where you know you're doing something right, and you won't let the judgment of others affect what you do, and then the honesty to be able to look at yourself and be critical.
That's a good point, because like, there's people that are unapologetically themselves, but it's like, no, that's
You shouldn't be. You should start apologizing.
He didn't have the balls to say it. That was a good friend move there.
but it's like it's an excuse to just be arrogant or literally lazy because you don't have to work towards anything. You're just like, I'm just being me. But being me is someone who you haven't actually taken the time to, let's say, analyze or set some kind of a goal or a direction at least. You know what I mean? Like we say, I'm just being me, but it means I'm not trying to work towards anything. Yeah. But I think that is almost ultimately kind of just a lazy excuse to not feel uncomfortable with having to try to work towards something or try to. If you have this idea of a person, let's go back to the look at yourself naked thing. If you have
you don't have to laugh, you can just say it. You know?
Going back to the looking at yourself now, but going back to that, right? Like. If you look at that and you're like, okay, this is actually what I want. Now you actually have a goal or you have to move towards a certain thing. And a lot of people, I guess, don't want to necessarily do that. And it's more comfortable to just be like, I'm being me. But being me is just, I guess it might just be an excuse sometimes at the end of the day. Yeah.
It goes back to the cliche saying where it's like, there's no way of cheating. There's no cutting corners. When you cut corners, you're going to find out about it. So you got to do the work.
I'm curious to know, because obviously touching on what Nori's saying, you'd have a lot of young men coming to you, asking you, self-development, how do I get better? What is one thing that all these men have in common? What is something that a lot of these men lack and they're trying to work on?
First of all, it's not necessarily young men. It's really is all types of ages. The only thing is the young men are more adaptable and less stubborn, so they'd be more likely to reach out for help. Right, as we know, as men, we're very proud, we're very stubborn, so the older we get, the less we want to understand that we actually need help. There's me sitting here, there's something I could learn off all three of you separately, 100%, probably numerous things, and that's the case for a man of any age. The thing that they have in common is probably a lack of understanding of what their capabilities are. And what I mean by that is, as a man, as a human male, for me, you are the most capable animal on the planet. Physically and psychologically, abides of what a female can do, which is astronomically incredible. The actual capabilities of a human male is the top of any animal in the world. And if you just look at that and actually sit here, even though there are loads of us, and just go, wow, out of every single species and animal in the world, we are the most capable to achieve anything. No matter what your shoe sizes, or no matter where you're born or who your parents are, as a man, you can literally achieve substantial amounts of things. When you understand that, really understand it, and understand how crazy them capabilities are, then you start rolling in the levels of productivity and success. So I don't think a lot of men understand and comprehend that, and the problems with self-belief.
Yeah, wow,
wouldn't you say that it's probably because not everyone can? Now, this is a bit pessimistic of a thing to say, but like,
pessimistic is real sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm like, I wonder if it's like, is it because in reality, maybe not everyone can. Oh, this is so
can
bad.
Achieve amazing things.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive to what I actually believe, right? But if you look at it in like the animal kingdom sense, right? Like you can't. Not all of the lions are allowed to be the leader of the prize. Some have to be Scar. Like, not everyone can be Mufasa, you know what I mean? But like, in terms of the capability thing, I'm like, are we setting some people up for are there actually levels of where certain people are meant to perform and
two
be
things
in life?
Yeah, there's two things. The first one is we're setting people up to fail, which is one of the best character building exercises possible. So 100% you're setting people up to fail and live the rest of their 30, 40 years of life going, I tried.
Figuring it out.
And I can tell my kids I tried, and I can tell my grandkids I tried, rather than sitting there looking in the eyes and telling them to do something that I didn't even do myself. And then there's the second, the second aspect to that, which is if you're a lion and you go up against the male or the alpha in the group, then he's probably going to kill you. So as a human, you can try that. We have the beauty of trying that, and we're in a pussy society that lets us live.
No one's going to kill you, probably.
We don't have them kind of...
the stakes.
Yeah, the stakes aren't the same. I wish it was like that.
Oh, man, Luigi over here.
All the guys that try to copy my content. the amount of people that try to copy my content online, I could just stab them in the neck, just be gone with them, legally.
Mess it legally, right?
Well, I'm curious then, what's your relationship or interaction like with women then? Because I know with one of your, the truth community, you help men, you know, build the confidence to be able to speak to women and get into a relationship with the type of women that they want. So where does that experience for you come from? Like, what's your interaction like with women?
First of all, my belief on women is that I hate you, and I'm joking.
Don't do that.
I'm in absolute awe of women every day. It's something that people are quite surprised about me. Maybe as a level-headed person, you'd understand it and you'd be able to see it.
No, that was so sassy, bro. You see that?
The eyes.
I don't even see I do this. Maybe it's a
Okay,
maybe it's a Colombian thing. You see, I got nah, but for real, like my love and appreciation for women is astronomical. Again, like I really think you guys are incredible. Like for me, what your body's gonna achieve is still not like it's magical.
Around, yeah.
It's magical. So for the development side of things, I think it's very different. I think women are more fragile and they need a more a higher level of protection. And for men, it's like you can literally be put through the wars and every ounce of trauma will be beneficial to you. I feel like trauma is really good for men, but for women, it can be very damaging. So there's a different level. I wouldn't give the same advice for a woman. I'd love to advise. If a woman came to me and like said, yo, I don't know what to do this. I want to start my own business. Of course I'd give her advice. First of all, I'm a man, so I can only give her my perspective of what it is like to be a male. If a woman came to me and said, listen, I'm struggling with my menstrual cycle, you know, how do I stop the blood? I'm not going to go to her and say, buy a fucking tampon. Like, which tampon do you recommend? So
No, sorry, I guess my thing is more of like, so you advise men, so you'd be like, hey guys, this is how you approach women, this is how you speak to them, this is how you make them feel comfortable. Where do you get your answers from? Like, have you been in the game that many times?
yeah.
You've
Like,
spoken
how
to
do you know
women?
what to say to
Like, yeah. Have you had
I've
that many
been in the
interactions
streets,
that
been in the streets for way too long. Yeah, I've really been in these streets.
Goodness gracious.
I've been doing the research. I'm like, did you guys ever have them school trips where you had to go around the clipboards and
and
do the
TikTok?
research?
Seeing
Yeah.
whatever.
That's been me. That's been
Wow,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
So you've had first-hand experience.
tell you
Saw a
what.
canary.
Yeah, bro. It's like that.
So yeah, definitely experience. I back my social skills, and I know that I make women feel very comfortable. So that's the main thing for me. The level of like actually having success with women, having the kind of ability to charm, to make them feel comfortable, and give really good energy.
I guess
Everyone's ready to say something.
I guess because the perception of you, and this was my perception of you, to be honest, until I'll be honest with you, when I realized we were gonna have you on the podcast, I was like, let me do some more research. But my perception of you prior to that was just like, this guy is outside, handsome guy, gets girls. That's pretty much his thing. And then at first glance of looking at a bit deeper into it, it's like, all right, really focused on men, men becoming confident, men becoming this, all that. Do you identify, or do people bag you into the red pill community quite a bit, or is that kind of like one of those labels where you're like, it exists, but it doesn't offend me, or it does offend you? Like, whoa, because that's how I would perceive you, per se.
Of course. I'm a completely unique individual, so if you have to put someone in a criteria, then you're gonna have to, like, when I say woman, I generalize as woman. Is there gonna be one woman that doesn't meet the criteria of what I'm describing as a woman? Yeah, of course.
Of course, yeah.
So if someone wants to put me in a category, do that.
Yeah.
If someone wants to have a misconception of me, completely fine. Do I like it when people have wrong misconceptions about me? Sometimes I don't give a fuck. Sometimes it's a bit annoying because I wish people understood a bit more. In your perception, would that like irritate me? No, not at all. Because a lot of people scroll past me, see my face, and that's it. So I don't need you to love me.
Yeah.
If you're entertained by my videos and you find them funny,
That's
fine.
enough,
I'm not a comedian, I'm not an entertainer, but I wouldn't have my platform if people didn't find it entertaining. So it's more for the guys who actually want to understand, will understand. You can't push something. You can't really push an agenda in people's face. You know, you have to do it very, very intelligently, as the government will very well. But if people want to understand something, they'll be open to understand something, and they will. And that's who I really make my content for. Yeah. If other people want to watch, I'm not going to stop them. You know, the algorithm is going to do its thing the way. Yeah. So I guess it's both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. Yeah. You label me as ever you want. You think whatever you need to think about me. Yeah. For me, if people can acknowledge that I'm a good person and I'm a nice person, that's the most important thing. anything else under that, it's not important to me. But that's also for my mum. Like, I'd love my mum to know that she raised a son who's polite and well mannered and you know, a generally good person.
Yeah.
Where do you think, like, I guess if we touch on that, like the whole principles and values thing, like, where do you think that comes from for yourself? Like, what you hold as, this is how I live my life. Like, where does that come from? Especially, you mentioned as well, being quite an arrogant kid as well too, that changing into it and transforming into confidence. Not going into too much about childhood, like if you don't want to as well, but like, what are the values that you've grown up around that have helped to fuel where you are now? And then what was that transition from changing that arrogance into confidence as well then?
Yeah, so to touch really briefly, first of all, my mom's been like an exceptional role model. She's a very good person and a very kind and giving back person. So that was a big inspiration for me. My dad was kind of contrary personalities, not as a bad person, but maybe where I got a bit more of my loud mouth and charm and etc. from. Also, I was 17 when I self-converted to Christianity, coming from an atheist family. Was a born again Christian, baptized for about 2 years, and then started losing a bit of, I wouldn't say losing faith, but starting to gain more understanding. But I've read 4 of however many religious books there are, all with much more similarities than you'd imagine, and they've all taught me incredible amounts. And one thing of advice I'd give to everyone is that, atheist or not, I'd advise people to read religious books, because there's some great stories and great lessons, and I think it's a good representation of how to live your life, you know, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, they all teach, you know, good level morals. So understanding how to live a good life, and then for me, just staying grounded throughout everything I'm achieving, which is constantly asking myself why I'm doing this and what effect can I be having while doing it. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does. I mean, to go not too deep, but like that 17 year, like what was that period? What was that like? What was going on in your life that made you go? Yeah,
I had a really good friend of mine, and a lot of deep conversations. So happy I experienced that. Because that is what brought me massively closer to God, understanding the power of prayer and the importance of prayer, which, you know, I still use to this day. So yeah, that was definitely a different experience for me, and every different experience is an amazing one, I think.
I mean, obviously having the values that Christianity holds, and then saying that, you know, someone that was in the streets and whatnot, and you've said that you're away from that lifestyle now. What was it about that I guess made you be like, I'm not trying to be outside or find fulfillment from sex and stuff like that? Like what was that change like then as well?
For me, a lot of what I do determines on how it affects other people. So if I'm having a negative effect on other people, like, I immediately will find a way to stop. Yeah. And this has been the biggest battle of my probably psychology, because, you know, love bombing girls and like leading girls on and having sex with girls, knowing that they're more into you than you are to them. I try to trick my own brain, which is what we do as humans. We try to make ourselves, we justify things we do. You know, I'm not proud for a lot of the way that I've acted, like, with girls in the past. I've never been malicious to girls. I've never hurt girls. I've never, like, you know, abused girls emotionally. But could I have been more honest with a girl and probably cut something off when it should have been cut off, as opposed to prolong something? Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of lessons to learn in there. And other than that, like, on a day-to-day basis, if I'm ever negatively affecting someone else, like, I'll find a way to cut it off. But that's the situation for me. When I'm getting something I want, and I can block out what I know is true, which is like, are you harming someone in a certain way? You know, that's what I've been really trying to work on. And just trying to be more honest. I feel like honesty really will, like, break you free as a person. If you can be truly and unforgivably honest, which you do need a certain level of power to be, because if, for example, like, if you're an employee, you can't be honest. You can't tell your boss is a twat, you know? So I am also lucky in that sense.
But you should know that your boss is a twat, though.
You can know that.
You should know it. I mean,
you can know that. But, you know, you got. For me, that's the best thing about being in a position where I can provide for myself, which is where I'm in a position that I don't have to lie to anyone. You know, if I feel a certain way about someone, I can say it. And that's not about insulting everyone. It might just be telling someone how you feel about a situation, and if they want to understand it, they do. If they don't, they don't. It's really hard having honest communication with this world because there are certain things that are honest that you shouldn't say.
I know.
I have this conversation with people all the time. All the time. One of the most conversations I have with average peasant citizens is when I hear someone talking shit about someone else, I'll just put it out to them. I'll say, I have a question. Would you then say that to the person? Would you then actually repeat this to the person? And be like, no, of course not. Like, then you shouldn't be saying it at all. And they'll be like, well, no, that takes out the whole fun of bitching. And they don't even see it.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? Like, why are you ruining my party?
That part's hilarious.
Why would I tell her that she's a bitch? I'm going to tell him that she's a bitch. And then he's going to tell her that I called her a slut. And then she's going to tell him that I said she's an angel.
And now you get to enjoy it all, man.
And now I'm the victim.
And then we're all going to sit around New Year's Day pretending we like each other when we don't even like each other.
That's the reality sometimes.
It's crazy.
I really want to go back to Mao's point because she asked you, where do you get your answers from? And you said based on experience in the streets, right? And now you're at a point where you're providing tips to these men. How much do you think you actually relate to these guys, right? Because now, no, for real. Because now it comes down to attractiveness versus confidence, right? Because I've seen your videos pop up ages ago. And you turn around and say, excuse me, miss, and they're really lost in your eyes. They're lost, right?
Man.
So now it's almost like whatever you can say whatever, and you got her attention.
Nah, not at all.
Right?
Not
Bro, we've seen the videos. We've seen this video.
Go on, let you finish. But not at all.
So when these men come to you and say, hey, bro, I'm trying to figure out how I can approach these girls.
And he sends you a photo of himself.
First, I want to know what your stance is on, being attractive versus confidence, right? If, I don't know, someone's like a 4 out of 10, obviously very subjective. Do you think their confidence enough is enough to go ahead and get this girl that they're after? But yeah, do you think you actually relate to these guys?
Right, first of all, you don't have one ugly friend who bags hella bitches. You don't have one? Do you or do you not have one? No name dropping. Do you have one ugly friend that bags hella bitches?
Probably.
Okay. All right. Point proven. So there's two aspects to it. One, energy is the most important thing, which even me tapping the girl on her shoulder and saying, hey, there's a lot of energy being transmitted in that specific interaction.
Right, yeah.
The first second of interacting with a girl is going to be your most decisive second, right? She'll tell you, if a guy comes to approach you, she probably has 1 second to decide if she's going to run away, talk to him. She don't even know what to do. A million things are going to run.
Don't you think that's based on how you look?
Okay.
Like touch, turn around.
Of
I
course.
like how it looks. Talk to me.
Of course it has an of course it has an impact.
She
I've seen
screams.
that reaction before. No, not from me, man.
Now, of course it has an impact. Of course being attractive is going to help. For me, I think my soft look helps me personally. To explain that a bit more, the fact that I wouldn't say I'm your typical very manly man, very built and true, and I'm quite, I've got a fucking ponytail in my head. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Nah, free no.
So
That's crazy.
there's that kind of the kind of vibe to it as well. But for me, energy is the most important thing.
Right.
And even if I was to go along with your point and say I'm a 9 out of 10 and I can bag a 9 out of 10 girl, so why can't a 4 out of 10 guy bag a 5 out of 10 girl? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts.
So there's relativity.
She's
as well
still
to it.
better looking to him.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
I have seen like ugly guys with ugly girls and they are convinced that she's an attractive woman. And I'm trying to tell him like, bro, your gal ain't it. And he's telling me like, bro, like she's there.
Your girl ain't lit.
She ain't it, bro. No, but yeah, it's subjective and very relative. But for me, energy is the most important thing.
Okay, yeah.
And if you were a 4 out of 10 guy, can that confidence take you from a 4 to a 6? 100%. Can the energy take you from a 6 to a 7? 100%. Will you ever be a 10 out of 10? Probably not. But can you work on your general physical and emotional and psychological appearance by improving your energy? 100%. And if you haven't got ugly friends that bag baddies, I've got tons of really short, 5'5", ugly
Why'd
friends.
you look upset? Why'd you look
I'm looking at the camera. I can't even see him over there. That's
He's not 5'5". He's tall. He's a tall guy.
He's taller than me.
Nah, bet. You good, though? Yeah, that's mad.
So energy, interesting.
Why do you think this type of? Because I have a theory, but why do you think this type of content always does so well?
Like pop the
Because since the
balloons,
start of the
all of
internet,
that.
I remember early days on the internet, you would always see on YouTube. Early days of YouTube, you would always see those videos of guys that are like on South Beach or whatever, and they're like, "This is how you talk to girls." And I don't know if you guys remember that guy that used to do the workout videos, the Asian dude. And he was always the ads, like the first day of ads on YouTube. It was always this guy. And then I think it was like him and his friends would always also have that kind of content of like, this is how you talk to girls. And then like as time has gone and like when I were 15 plus years into like internet being always in our lives, that type of content still exists and bangs for a decent portion of the population as well, you know? Why do you think it connects so hard? And is it something to do with society being such a, like it's such an emasculating society in the West, right? Like, do you think that, over the last like 15-ish years, I feel like there's a push towards a different form of masculinity, yeah?
No form of masculinity.
Or which is, essentially, right? And it's like, do you think that there's some like deep down longing in a lot of these guys are like, I need to find out this manhoodness?
Yeah, there's a couple of aspects to it, right? A lot of us look on social media to see the life that we want to live, even if it's you follow a travel page that shows you beautiful pictures of Brazil. We're watching that because we're like, wow, I'd love to be there.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect to it where a lot of guys watch. I can relate personally to my stuff. A lot of guys watch and live their life through me. Because that's a way to live life now on social media. You can literally live your life through someone else. Remember, on social media, we're literally creating a username and creating a human being that can be so far from who we actually are as a person, which a lot of this journey was for me. It was a way to create a new identity away from school, away from the society that created a human being, which I didn't actually decide. And then there's another aspect to it where if girls are involved, it's always a bonus. Like when there's a pretty girl in a red dress or with this with a thing showing. You know? Yeah. It always helps because guys are watching in awe and girls are judging and everyone wants to. She laughs. She's not even know that. She know that one.
That's the funny thing as well. Yeah,
That dress does not look good on her.
yeah, it brings both in.
Come on, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Not all the time. Mad. Even going around, like, especially the global aspect of things all around the world, like what do you learn or what do you observe from people, like guys and girls even now, like just from all the different travels and being around there, like because you're able to go to somewhere completely different, sometimes not even speaking a language that you speak, and yet there's a connection, there's energy, there's whatever it might be. What's the observation of people from, I guess, those travels or being around in different places?
Just the general population.
We'll start with general population, just looking at human beings and the way that we live life. From, like, I assume you're someone that's quite observant in terms of human behavior and how people live,
sure.
right? So, like, just going around from travel, what is it that you see?
First of all, it's a crazy world we live in. It's a crazy world we live in.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Both. It's both. It's a lot bigger than we think, like the world. People with a different perspective to us, you know, literally live in a different place with a different family and a different hobby when they were growing up in a different school with a different teacher, and you know, their opinion, of course, is going to be different to us. So there's some kind of compassion that needs to be created, like a mutual spot of compassion where not everyone's going to understand everything, and also humility that comes with that. But for me, yes, it's I don't know. I suppose to answer your question, it's just crazy. Like, the world's mad, especially in this generation. What's normal to some people, some countries, you know, being so far in advance, and some countries so far behind. But now behind isn't even a bad thing because most of the countries that are behind are still walking around with men and penises and all the stuff that you can rely on. You know, when I see a beard, I can trust that.
You said you can trust it.
I can trust that. Like, he's gonna have a penis as well.
Some countries, I don't know, man. They're both got some strong beards out there.
What's your favorite country you've been to?
Yeah.
Like, because of the people. not because of the scenes or
Oh,
whatever?
see, you just changed my mind because of the people.
Oh, okay. Then what's your favorite in general, and then the one that's because
Favorite in general, from a bias standpoint, is Kenya.
Oh, what?
The reason being is bias is because in Kenya I spent a long time in Nairobi, in Mombasa, and also in the Masai Mara. So I got to experience an unbelievable city in Nairobi, with some incredible food, great vibe, great people, really cheap police when you get arrested, which I did.
How'd you get arrested?
No, just like corruption.
Oh, okay.
Got held at gunpoint.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
That's nice to stand.
Serious?
Yeah, it was really funny. Great story. I'll keep it short and simple. Got held at gunpoint, essentially, put in the back of a car in handcuffs. They realized I was a minor at the time. I was very young. So they took all my money. And I was like to them, like, guys, I need to get home. And they literally pulled over a taxi driver, put him at gunpoint, and were like, take this kid home. And really nice. The taxi driver took me home.
Bless.
If I was that taxi driver, I would have driven 10 meters down the road and went, get the f out of my car. He dropped me at the door.
Oh, wow.
I wish I could find that guy to this day. Wow, that would be incredible. I
Good
would-
conversation on the way home.
yeah.
Both of them, their knees are just shaking.
I was shitting myself in the back. He was just like, so, how was your night?
Yeah. How long you been doing this for?
I was like, it was good until there was an AK in my face. Fuck me.
Bro, standard Uber question.
Yeah.
Busy night?
Get any girls? So yeah, and then Mombasa is the coast, and
Yeah.
it's gorgeous beaches, like incredible. You'd never associate that with somewhere like outside the Caribbean. And then obviously like being on safari,
Yeah.
probably the most famous.
That's an unreal
you know, like
experience, yeah.
natural habitat of animals destination in the world is so there. And then the ones that are like up for me are Rio and Medellin, like Brazil and Colombia.
Home.
Home.
Allegedly.
And which one? Because
The funniest thing about this is that he's actually
Yeah, I
from
know, I know.
Medellin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just stealing his identity at this point. Like,
That's the one. You say which one?
Which place for the people specifically? Is there one?
so it's so annoying because as a Westerner, when you're in these like low income countries, the people are amazing, but they also see you as a walk-in wallet.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
you're not getting the
annoying.
reality of
Because
it.
in somewhere like Kenya, where I just like to look at someone and be like, bro, let's just be boys.
Yeah.
He's looking to be like, yeah, we can be boys. If you gonna give me some dollars.
Oh, wide dollar sign.
Literally, it's an American $1. He just sees George Washington when he looks at him.
Yeah, just chill.
So it's hard, but the people in Kenya are amazing, man. People in Kenya are amazing. But everywhere I've gone, there've been some dope people.
So going back to this perception then of what people, how we can create that ourselves, right? And just how we look online and what people might see and think of us then. What reason do you think some women don't like you then? Or, I guess see your content and there will be, as opposed to judging the girl or whatever that you might be interacting with, they're looking at you like this guy is actually so annoying. Like what reasons do you think that people might have that not wanting to connect with what you put out?
To generalize, that 90% of them wouldn't understand. They wouldn't understand why I do it and what my thought process is behind it. A lot of hatred comes from jealousy, and a lot of hatred comes from someone doing something that you wish you could be doing, whether it's a girl wishing that she was the girl being approached or whatever. But also I'm happy to sit here and say that some people might just not like me as a person, and some people's personalities might not go with mine, and they might find me arrogant or overly expressive. So there's that aspect to it as well. I've spoken to girls in a way where I've really thought she's going to be into me. I'm like, so we're going back to mine or yours? And she's like, just get the fuck away from me. I'm like, so yeah, there's both aspects. But I think it's a lot of lack of wanting to understand. It's easier for me to hate you and not ask you why you do certain things you do than it is for me to actually try and like you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
By the way, do you still do those videos, like going around and...
Haven't done them in a long time.
I was gonna say I feel like I don't see that much.
Yeah, haven't done them in a long time. I still do it on the street. First and foremost, something you should know about me is
Just no camera.
I do it with everyone. Like, I'll do it with a 90-year-old man. You know what I mean? I'll go up to him and say, hi, how's your day? This, that. So it's very similar. It's not so different. And the same with like older women and ugly women and beautiful women. It's just the beautiful women that get filmed. You know what I'm saying? But
She doesn't know what to
Slander
say.
is crazy. The slander is actually crazy.
no, I appreciate ugly women. I do my charity work.
Yeah, I was gonna say before you were giving women their flowers and their props, and now we just slandering women.
What? What do you want me to call ugly women?
Why do we have to call them ugly? You know the saying,
What would I
the
call-
beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I've
so
never
everyone
understood what that
is-
saying actually means, by
It
the way.
means
It means that ugly girls, someone's gonna find them lame.
Also, like, the
means
whole
one out
order
of-
of the
everyone
first.
is beautiful.
Wow, so being
Everyone
ugly
is
is
beautiful to
objective.
someone.
means there's gonna be a blind guy somewhere that finds that girl attractive.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways,
You better ask something on this.
colours?
Nah, because,
rejection.
do you know why I can say that? Because
Yes.
there's not a certain girl that I would not find attractive. I have my type, but I can find every single woman attractive, and I can also appreciate beauty massively, and I can see when someone's ugly. So it's all right though.
Fair,
You,
fair.
don't- you have to speed every now and then. You see?
He's had his little one. She's there. I'm gonna get you all in at some point. Nah, but I don't discriminate. Ugly people, do your thing. Like
Yeah.
Give him a chance.
He doesn't believe a thing he's saying.
I don't know where to look now.
I mean, the only reason why I will let you slide is because I do know women will come on a platform as well, and we will say that men are not attractive. So that's why I will let
Yeah, to
men
be honest,
say what
yeah,
they
I agree.
want. But I'm gonna keep a close eye. I'm twitching a little, but it's okay. I will let you say what you need to say, because at the end
Say,
of the
get it
day,
off your
it's
chest.
your opinion, isn't it? It's your opinion.
I would say that I've had like not relatively ugly ex-girlfriends.
I can't take this guy serious.
Nah,
Like, this is his opinion, his
I'm being
experience.
dead
Like,
ass.
well, I'm not gonna.
like I've had some ugly girls that are just amazing, like amazing people, great energy, great vibe.
Beauty's in our behold.
And it can be like you can manipulate with energy, you know? Like you can make someone believe you're beautiful by having such a pure and great energy.
So what was the initial interaction then? Because you see them and you're like, okay, you're not attractive to me. So what keeps you?
It's relative for a guy. Like depends what your intentions are. Let me know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get into that too much. That's a bit of a sticky one.
Said I'm not gonna look into her face tonight. Gotcha. What's the because obviously like when you were doing more of that content of the approaching girls, it always works. Obviously, there's failures.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
shit ton.
Rejection
Never
as
tried to
well.
hide it.
What's the one like
That's
failure that's stuck in your mind? You're like, I can't believe she said
Someone's
that.
asked me this question before, and I don't have an answer. Like,
Bro, there's a video that actually popped up. It always pops up for me. It popped up today. I don't know why. The girl that rejected you twice.
3 times.
3 times. That's it. Oh, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You tried to approach her. She was like, "You approached me last year."
Yeah, she approached me. She approached me the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't know she's had the same boyfriend all 3 years. 3 years.
Hey, can I be honest?
Shout out to her, bro.
Shout out to her. That's- whoever her man is right now, that's the most happy man in the
Bro,
world.
and you put your egg game on that.
Well, I thought about it, right? But there's also this aspect. If she knew who I was and knew that I'd approached her twice on camera, did she only hang around on camera so her man could see her physically rejecting me? Because most girls just walk off. But she actually stopped to have the interaction. And by the way, for me, what she did was wrong. If you have a boyfriend, for me personally, you don't stop to have an interaction with a guy.
Period.
Especially if you know what his intentions are. If you don't know his
Yeah,
intentions,
I think that's fair. If you know what the intentions are, it's like,
Yeah.
what's the
Like
point
the
of this
second time
conversation?
around,
Yeah.
second, third time around.
she knew who I was.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair.
Yeah.
And
Same-
this is
same-
gonna
Just be funny,
Catch up
guys.
with an old friend,
Yeah,
man.
just banter, a bit of banter. Give you some content.
A bit of faith for her. I don't know. Man. Yo, so,
if she was just trying to boost my algorithm, then shout out to you. bro.
so what is it? Do you have like your cameraman right in front of you, or how does that work?
We used to do it a lot more secretive,
Okay.
but then 50% of our videos would result in me getting a DM from the girl saying, "Can you please delete this video?" Which was fair enough. And I had to I got defensive at first, like, "Yo, like, what do you mean?
My content,
It's my."
yeah.
But then I started to mature and understand from people's
I
perspective.
want my boyfriend to see this.
That was the one that I would never ever take it down.
Because you're an asshole.
If a girl,
Yeah.
100%, I'm doing God's work out here. If a
Me
girl,
and my Christian values.
bro, one thing about me is I've always got the man them. Like if I'm I've always got the man them. Like if I'm getting some, you're getting some, like, bro. And if I'm not getting some, like, and you're not getting some, then I'm not getting some. You get me?
Nice.
So at this point, if I'm talking to a girl and she's giving me energy and I've got that on camera and she's telling me, well, I've got a boyfriend, like, he's gonna see that. he's gonna see that.
Tag the boyfriend. Everyone
Yeah.
find this boyfriend.
One of the biggest questions I used to get, I don't get it so much more, is like, do you ever see a guy and he just comes and like beefs you in public and has a problem with you? And I'm like, what can he say to me? Bro, it's
your fault my girl got exposed. It's stupid.
like, bro.
Yeah. I hear it.
If anything, you know, I get more guys in my DMs telling me
Thank
like,
you.
bro, can you message my girl and see if she's loyal to
Okay,
you?
that's
wow.
I know, because that actually happens quite a lot.
To you?
No.
I nearly had him. The fist bump was so tempting.
Carlos.
No. Guys going, hey, can you message my girl?
Like testing their girl
Testing
out.
the girl, you know.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
No, it's actually hilarious. So when you go out, you know, talk to girls, have you ever thought like, man, I wouldn't mind settling down with her. Like I wouldn't mind this being my partner.
I mean, how do you know that though?
No, I don't know, but to be honest, like
I have a strong
like
filter
interest,
process.
how do you differentiate between going, I'm just doing this for confidence and showing
Just to
guys
raise her
is
up,
that
yeah.
easy
Yeah, of
versus
course.
you going, wow, like I'm actually interested in this girl.
I have a strong filter process. First of all, if a girl is actually like, she knows the camera's there and she wants to be on camera, for me, that's like a no for me.
Okay, right.
So it's actually quite lucky because it works together. Like, I would personally prefer a girl that was more like, oh, camera? No. Like, she's a bit more intelligent. She knows that social media isn't maybe a place that unless you're controlling the content you want to be.
Yeah.
Right,
And also as someone who's in the limelight and you know, my life is very in your face 24/7. I would just prefer a girl that wouldn't, maybe a calmer girl that prefers to be behind the scenes, etc. So there's that aspect to it. And secondly, I just have a very quick filter platform. Like, I always propose if I want to take a girl seriously. If I'm like, raw, your energy was really cool. I'll always ask a girl for coffee, and like 50% of girls will be like, what, coffee? You better take me to dinner. I'll be like, yeah. You can take yourself to dinner. I'm going for a coffee. So that's my favorite one. Filters out, like, as I said, about 50% of girls probably. So yeah, and then the filter process is pretty quick from there.
Is it because you get to sit down and properly speak to them one-on-one?
Coffee's
just
the
with
best
a
date in
coffee
the
in
world.
between?
Coffee is the best date in the world.
Yeah.
Coffees is calm, yeah.
Let me tell you something, yeah. Dinner's all cool and that, but there's two things wrong with dinner. Both people are going to spend an hour before worrying about what they're wearing and how they're looking, right? Coffee, you're going to put some chill clothes on. You're not going to worry about putting loads of makeup on your face. You're going to go to a nice little spot where it's safe and comfortable for the girl to be because there's lots of people around. If she's meeting someone for the first time, and the guy is like casual, he's not worrying about, oh shit, can I get this $100 bill? Can I get? Oh shit,
$5
she's ordering too many
sense.
cocktails, right? Super.
4 coffees, relax.
Can I get an extra shot of espresso, bro? I don't even know if I like you yet.
She wanted a bagel, you lost your mind. Bro.
If she asks for a croissant, I run. So there's that aspect to
hear
it.
it,
And also when you're eating dinner, I don't want Jose Manuel over my shoulder. Is everything all right with your meal, sir? Would you like some more tacos? I'm good, bro.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I hear it.
So there's that aspect. And coffee, we can literally sit down and get to know each other. And imagine we're in an environment where we're two honest people and within half an hour we've decided that we don't vibe. Go your way, I'm
Go
going
your
mine.
separate ways,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
yeah.
I'm gonna get the $5 bill. I got
I
that.
got it. I got
Don't
it.
worry.
You pay for your croissant, but I'm gonna get the coffees.
I hear it. I hear it.
I'm
Yeah.
with it. I'm with it.
Well, now that we're in this kind of a bag there where we can give some advice, we discovered that one of the most searched topics or questions rather for Australians as a whole, but we assume it's men. But one of the most searched Google searches last year was how to talk to women.
It's crazy.
Mm.
I think
Which I'm not happy and proud that is what the stat is that Google puts out for Australia. 'Cause I'm like, the rest of the world is this just adds to the propaganda.
My life goal would be someone putting that in ChatGPT and just putting a picture of my face.
It's a link
ChatGPT.
right there, yeah?
If AI could do that for me,
Oh, man.
my life's done.
But why, like if we can, what's that word I heard recently today? Pontificate. If we could just pontificate.
Teach me.
As to why this might be, I don't even know if I used it right.
I think you did. I
So
actually think you did.
pontificate is like to elaborate on
I believe it's like to investigate, to dissect, like let's
I think
hypothesize, you know what I'm saying?
Is he intelligent enough for me to?
Intelligent.
I'm gonna go using that word on my dates tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet a girl tonight and be like, can you pontificate about yourself, baby girl?
It's a serious
She's gonna
word.
look at me like, ooh.
You got it all wrong.
Damn it!
All right, to express one's opinions in a pompous and dogmatic way.
Yeah, dogmatic. There we go. Breaking it down so we can use that. We'll use that.
Sure.
Express, yeah. So we're breaking it down, trying to understand. But What's from your observation of being here?
English, bro, English.
Yeah, what's going on in Australia?
Oh God, oh God.
Like from what you've seen, at least, or even you've probably done some content in the streets here too. What do you think? Why is that the case? Like, what's going on with us?
So Australia specifically, I've had a lot of feedback from girls saying, and guys saying three things. One, there's like a lack of drive for men to self-develop here, and it's a very chilled out and comfortable environment.
Right.
Where I'm from, London, it is dog eat dog. You are in constant competition. What time you wake up. In London, what I love about it is, as a guy, if you do something wrong, you don't even need someone to let you know. London's gonna let you know. It's gonna let you know very quickly.
Yeah.
Because when you can't get entry into that club, or when you can't, you know, when your friend's onto you, or when this girl don't like you anymore, it's just very competitive. Maybe Australia being a bit more of a chilled out zone, could be some reasoning behind that. But a lot of girls, have really complained and said, like, the guys here just ain't it.
Damn.
They ain't on the levels.
Yeah.
Like
We've been hearing that, man.
I was speaking to a woman yesterday. Sorry to speak about sex so much and be so crude around you. I usually have a little bit more class around women. So I apologize. But I was speaking to a woman and I was like, we was talking about sex. And I was like, I'm not coming if you're not coming. Like, I'll come after you. Like, and she was like, what? She's like, can you start
these words before?
Can you start teaching these Australian? I was like, what do you mean? Like, no, that's not my language. Like, what do you mean? Like, guys aren't passionate about pleasuring a woman here. They're like, I've been with Australian guys and none of them have ever really understood anything about how to, or they wanted to, or had passion to. It's just so chilled out. Not even in a selfish perspective, just in such a chilled out zen, like let life happen.
It's crazy.
I'm a go-getter, like, do you know what I'm saying? If you want to, I'm gonna get it.
Well, we actually might be that different, huh? I mean, we're all good because everybody here spoken for, so we're chilling. Thankfully, we don't have to
Don't rub it in. Some of us ruin their chances of having a loving relationship because they dedicated their life to talking to gal on the street.
Okay. Because this is a great topic.
When you need a babysitter, you're gonna call me. So don't rub it in just yet. I'm gonna be the friend without the kids that you need to look after your kids when you wanna go.
We all play our role in life. You know what I mean?
They're married, by the way. I don't know if you clocked it, but
These
they're
two?
married.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry for speaking about sex so much next to you.
We all grow
They
up.
do that stuff now. They do that stuff now.
I'm sorry for setting the expectations so high, bro.
I said, wow, what are you doing, bro?
To be fair, when she could do that, when I was saying it on the pod, she was nodding the whole time.
Wait.
They're terrible.
We good over here. We good. Yeah, we good.
With this far now,
I did not want to be in that car on the way home.
You were joking about it, but you were like, approaching girls on the internet has ruined my chances of what. Do you like ponder that often? Like, where you're like, bro, like this is a lot for a girl to partner with and be like, I don't know what your past is like. I don't know how important transparency is about past and stuff to you in a relationship, but like, like a girl's gonna be like, I don't know how often this RIZZ thing becomes a thing in his day-to-day life, even after all that kind of stuff. Are you concerned when it comes to that? Are you kind of like, it is what it is?
Yeah, I'm not. I tell you why I'm not concerned, because first of all, if a woman liked me that much, she'd give me the time and energy to have a sit-down conversation with me. And as soon as you have a sit-down conversation with me as a woman, you will understand everything, like everything. I'm also a very persuasive person, but
I was gonna say, isn't that?
I'm a very honest person, and for me, I'll give you an example. Recently, I was dating a girl for a while, and I played the friend game. I played the game of like, I know you can't take me seriously because of what I do, but it's all good. We're gonna vibe. We're gonna, wow, this sounds so arrogant. It always comes to a point with me where you're gonna start liking me.
Okay.
I'm an attractive man. My energy is very good. I'm very loving and attentive. I'm a very good person. So,
bro, don't worry. The guy next to you believes this.
Especially in this generation of men. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So then what didn't work out about this? I mean, I don't have to get into detail, but like, it clearly didn't work out.
On my part.
Okay.
Yeah, on my part. So as I said, my filter system is mad. I have really high expectations for a woman. And I'm also very honest. Like any relationship I've had during this process, I have been incredibly honest in saying, which is quite emasculine of me, because usually I'd be like, these are my rules, you play by the rules.
Right. Yeah.
But I've actually said to the girls, listen, if you feel a type of way about me, I understand. I actually don't expect you to hang around and be with me. But if you do, you have to understand, like, this is it. And it all goes the same. They get into it. Listen, I understand it's your job, blah, blah.
Eventually.
3 months in, they fall in love. Oh, how can you do this? You can't. Oh, when did you film this video? Oh, you filmed this video just before we met for our coffee? Or, you know, and it starts to get...
Like that, yeah.
So I get it.
So it does take a toll, essentially.
100%. No, I've sacrificed my serious... I've sacrificed one of the most amazing possibilities of relationships in my life.
Do you think about her often?
For this, I think about a lot of...
There's a one her. I know there's a one her. You're like, it hurts.
No, I don't. I'm very good at filling my life up with like meaningful stuff. So I have a lot
Distracted.
I feel like I have a lot of purpose. No, I feel like I have a lot of purpose. So that helps me.
Yeah.
Whether that is just a big distraction or whether that's me actually trying to fulfill something.
Yeah. My question next was going to be, do you feel like it's worth it then? But if you're saying that you're filling up with purpose, I assume then you believe it's yes.
Yeah, what if I've sacrificed 4 years of a loving relationship for the benefit of 1,000 guys being able to actually talk to women so they have a chance of meeting a potential partner?
Is that worth it? The fact that other guys get to
We were actually talking about this, my fellow Colombian.
apparently.
We were talking about this earlier today. Like, it's crazy to understand the amount of people that you can reach with something, and the amount of guys that I get every day. Let's just say a humble 3 guys a day came up to me and go, Diego, bro, you've really helped me with my confidence. Yeah. Diego, it was only in the lift that we were coming downstairs to get an Uber. A guy comes up to me, he's like, yo, bro, can I get a picture? Like, the amount of guys that go, you helped with my confidence. I spoke to this girl because I saw your video. You helped me believe in myself. If I did that for just one other person whose life is as valuable as my life, I've technically fulfilled like a whole life, which is basically like fulfilling your own life.
Like vicariously, yeah.
So that's enough. Now imagine doing that to, as I say, thousands of people. So it's crazy. And I have, you know, across all platforms, like over 2 million followers. Having a room full of 2 million people, you know, a sold out show at Wembley Stadium in London is 90,000 people, which is like the biggest venue in England. And times that by 10. So
I hear it. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think it is definitely worth it. And you see people who have lived or sacrificed their life for causes that they didn't get to, I guess, necessarily live through and live out. But then I guess at some point, do you sometimes look selfishly and just be like,
Oh, yes, the cause of racial justice and Riz.
I was hoping no.
Good comparison, Daniel.
But what I'm saying is like,
oh man,
in the essence of just being able to work towards something.
Listen, I'm not quite comparing myself to Nelson
Mandela.
Mandela. Just
I was hoping no one was gonna do that. This freaking guy.
like me and Gandhi are quite on levels.
To be fair, Gandhi wasn't a good person.
I've heard a lot of rumors about this, but
Far out, no man.
within 10 years, like every single idol going back in time,
Everyone
so it was gonna be
Everyone's got dirt.
Mad.
Can we talk? Speaking of idols, got dirt, all this kind of stuff. UK content creators. I'm curious to get your opinion on what your scene is like. What, if you want to tell us about how some of these people are. You guys seem to love Australia for some reason. A lot of UK content creators. Some of you guys aren't having a great time here.
Oh my god.
Right? One of the guys is locked up.
This guy's an idiot, bro. This guy's an idiot.
But
I can't.
I don't know if you're. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Well, I mean, it's not fine. But
A break.
UK content creators. I don't know if you realize this. Australia loves you guys.
Yeah,
like
or you just hate yourselves.
no, well, a bit of both. But it's like we don't. I don't think we even love America this way.
Yeah,
Right? Like
I feel it.
so genuine, and I think this is across races, across everything. Like people love Molly May, but people love Chunks. They love KSI. They love the smaller air quotes Specs, PK Humble, all these kind of guys. Like genuine love.
It's so mad to be across the world and you're saying like my people's name.
Yeah.
I was just chilling on set with PK filming something like a few weeks ago. I was on a call with Specs like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird.
Well, I think that's
funny.
the thing. Like I don't know. For us, these are like very successful creators, which they are. But it's like, what's it like in London, in the UK in general, where it's like this is what you have. You know what I mean? Do you know what it's like for the audience perspective of that, or?
First of all, in Australia, like one thing I will give absolute qualms to is the love here is very, very respectful and very cool. In comparison to London, where a lot of people run over to me, stick a camera in my face and just run away and be like, yes, but and not say anything.
Yeah.
Here, so many people have been like, yo, Diego, like
Do
first
you
name
mind?
basis as well.
Yeah.
Like knowing a face and knowing a name is very big for me. That's how I know I've developed my brand.
course.
Yo, Diego, and even just to come and shake my hand and then go. And I'm kind of there like, oh, you know on a phone?
You
You know on a
were
phone?
posing
man?
already. Yeah.
All right. No, I'm joking. But yeah, really, really respectful over here. So yeah, I can feel the essence of the Australians loving kind of the English content scene.
For you guys as peers, what does that feel like? What's that space like? Like, do you see yourselves even as the next wave of who everyone's tapping into and who everyone's watching around
Is
the
it,
world?
or is it
ultimately?
super competitive between you guys?
I tell you what, it's different. First of all, there's levels. There's levels, and you have to kind of be humble and understand
What
the
level
different-
you're at.
Yeah, there's different. There is different shit because at the same time, these guys, your chunks, your
Just say it.
your peoples were doing like the same stuff that I was doing 4 or 5 years ago. For a long time as well, a lot of these guys were doing social media before it was a huge thing, or where you could have a lot of followers but not necessarily make loads of money. And you know the difference is, are you getting a deal with Foot Asylum? Are you hosting these events? So there's levels up, yeah, but there's definitely spaces.
Yeah.
There's definitely spaces to move into. And like I know myself that I'm putting myself in a very good position to be where I need to be when I need to be doing it. The only difference with me is I'd say I'm slightly less on brand than a lot of brands would like, because I struggle to filter. I struggle to lie.
Yeah,
I
okay,
struggle
got
to
you.
I struggle to
Like,
play the game.
Yeah, like it's in your opinion on the
Yeah.
trans is known, whereas
Yeah.
Chunks might have the same opinion, but he just won't air it.
Yeah, these guys,
gotcha.
they know.
They know how to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Which is not wrong.
not a bad thing.
It's not wrong.
everyone's getting their
Protecting their
back.
pocket, yeah.
Everyone's getting their back. Ironically, I had a conversation with a content creator from the UK not too long ago, and a while ago, and he was voice noting me and he was telling me like, yo, bro, like a lot of your content is like sick, love it, great content, and it's very like sexualized, and a lot of brands won't work with people who work with sexualized content. Like I've just closed the deal with these guys. It was like an 100K deal. Like these are the deals you need to be looking into, but to do that you need to kind of have that balance between where you want
Turn
to
it
be.
down a bit.
What'd you say?
Yeah, how do
Like, that's not
you
me.
balance that?
That's a double-edged sword, because if
Yeah.
you stop doing that content, then
Betraying
that's
your
what made
base.
you who you are.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, it's balance.
yeah.
Like you said, it's like it's not necessarily about stopping one and going to the other. It's about being authentic and being yourself, and don't let people tell you what to do. But also, you know,
Be open to growth.
the same way, if you work in a warehouse, you got your boss. I still have people that pay me, so technically I still have a boss.
100%.
Even though I'm self-employed, you know, everyone always has a boss, unless you're top of the food chain,
Yeah.
which is, you know,
Jeff Bezos.
10 people in the world.
Yeah.
You always have a boss.
Yeah.
So you know, you have to abide by the rules if you want to get paid.
sure.
Still got to survive.
For you, in terms of content creator, what's that next level? Is that like being on a live reality show? Is that hosting what does that look like?
For me, my life is like genuinely the most cinematic thing you could comprehend. Like my everyday interactions are crazy. So the first thing for me is that I want to be able to live my natural life as much as possible and be able to televise that. And second of all, yeah, creating bigger projects, bigger shows. I actually have a YouTube show, 2 YouTube series shows coming out in 2025. One of them is called From Boys to Men, and it's an episode of taking guys on a journey of self-development and like taking them through a series of days, hitting the gym, going out on the street, approaching girls. So that's a really big a YouTube series coming out, which is going to be out in March. And then the second one is I've got 2025, got to be doing 50 vlogs in 50 countries with 50 different girls,
Wow.
like as a date, like as a date vlog, whatever. So
You know what's so I was thinking about this. Like the content that just takes off is anything where you put a country's name to it, because people are, if they're not from that country, they're curious about it. And if they are from their country, they're there to see do we look good?
Yeah.
Or
The
do I need to
representation.
defend in the comment section? It works real well. That's smart. I like it.
That's a
That's very true.
Goodness me. Oh, that's it. Oh, because I was even thinking, and it's something that we're putting out. We have a group chat where we put like different topics and stuff. And we're saying how, like, you know, Andrew Tates of the world have kind of, it's all that kind of conversation is a bit quieter now. And
Crazy how things happen.
yeah, it's very, very wild to think like that's.
But if he didn't win it that way, it would take him a day.
Interesting.
Come back,
Transform
yeah.
it. A day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're
So
right.
you
You're
think
actually
it's
right.
a personal decision on his end?
It's no, but it's a business decision. Like they're probably cool where they are right now. I don't know.
It's true. No, I mean, probably
Fair.
because like at the end of the day, what is it? It's you speaking to a thing that
They're very
you know-
intelligent. They're very intelligent.
Do you,
people.
I don't know. Do you have a relationship with anyone? No.
No.
Because like I think the way I see it is like they kind of went like, let's stop saturating the market, because now every time he does any sort of interview, the numbers are mental, which they were crazy before, but now it's like doesn't matter what podcast he jumps on, it's like that's everyone's most viewed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, is this a decision to position ourselves as like, when I speak, right? Regardless of anyone's opinion on him.
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty smart
pay
business
attention
strategy.
to me right now. Kind
Yeah.
of thing, yeah. Well, because I was wondering, like, do you think that that's your space of the conversational, speaking to the guys, teaching men how to carry themselves, does that ever die down in any certain way? But I mean, even as we're talking about before, like we've seen people do this kind of stuff for 15 plus years on YouTube still at the end of the day. So I guess ultimately humans are going to always want to know how to interact with each other at the end of the day. So you kind of almost don't lose that audience. But do you see yourself moving away from that as the base into content very, very different way? Or is this just an evolution of it? Like with the helping man, with the 50 dates, 50 women, 50 countries, like
Yeah, it's
where do you
always
go?
a big thing in the content world is you've got to keep up. Like, you've got to keep up, and that's why a lot of people don't make it, because they don't understand. You know, they're so proud in the terms of, oh, this is my thing. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it this way. You have to be versatile. You have to be flexible with it. So for me, it's about always, changing and evoluting. I'll say to everyone right now, like, I don't need to be, it's Diego, the motivational speaker. I'm a content creator. If you want to call me an influencer, go ahead and call me. I don't like that word, but if you want to call me that, call me that. I create content. I enjoy creating content. I actually love the creative aspect behind creating content, as well as being able to have a great message behind it. The good thing about me, in difference to someone like Tate, is I'm very relative for the guys. Like, they can,
I
Instead of talking down to them, it's very much talking across to them.
Right.
Instead of talking like I'm talking to a generation of guys, it's more like I prefer to attack the camera as if I'm talking to you.
Right.
Like I prefer for a guy to sit behind his phone and feel like, shit, this is a message for me, which I really do feel like I get that. Understandably, it doesn't hit the numbers or the traction or maybe the effect. But for me, it's about an actual guy who maybe doesn't need to be shouted at, but needs to sit there on his phone and go, am I doing enough to achieve what I want to achieve? Probably not. Okay, so how do I attack this? And there's also the aspect where I'm continuing to learn more and more every day and become more knowledgeable and experienced, so I can continue to relate that on camera.
You better say something. I think it might have been in line with why you sent the topic even in the first place.
Can't remember.
I think you in terms of the fact that like you aren't too far into that whole like Red Pill community, which is I think carries a certain kind of image and reputation. So it is like you're literally just relating to people in terms of the betterment aspect of things, as opposed to trying to push toxicity as the way to change, which I think that's what you tend to see from that side. And I forgot what are the fresh and fits and whatnot, and the way that they like it would almost look like you're all in the same category, but it's a very different angle or approach to it. Like you're actually trying to push from the sense of like, this is how to help better yourself, as opposed to toxicity, this person's horrible, you're better than this person, you're better than that person, and that's the way you need to go about your life, kind of thing. So
the reason people like that do that is like, if someone's at a 2 and I want to get them to a 5, I'm better to call them at a 10 so they can come halfway.
come on, right?
I'm more of a like, if you want to get to a 5, I'm gonna explain to you how you can get to a 5.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of the stuff they say on the Very Red Pill is true and is kind of in some aspects, understandable, but you have to want to understand it in a calm manner.
Yeah.
If you're a woman
through.
watching that
Yeah.
and you're ready to be agitated, you're gonna get agitated. If you're a composed woman and you actually want to understand the message behind something, you're not gonna let it annoy you because you're gonna actually understand that these guys are just guys behind the screen trying to get a reaction, and you know you can't let them.
They get them, man.
Yes.
Get the
Yeah, of course they
reactions,
do.
sure.
But listen, if you actually sat behind the camera and just looked, 99% of the stuff they are saying is just that a guy needs to be strong and provide for a woman, and a woman should be in some level submissive to their man, which I don't think any of us here can disagree with. In some aspect, that has to be the case. You know, whether that means a man can do certain things to a woman and abuse power is just like ridiculous and off scale, but that's how they get the reactions. The reactions are how they get their views.
Exactly.
I hear that, man.
Just
Damn.
real quick, with the truth community, there's an offer that you got on, which is in 90 days, get the girl of your dreams. Guarantee you get your money back. Has anyone asked for their money back? That's what I want to know.
Nah, it's so funny you say that. The guy last week, he just bagged Kim Kardashian, man. Swear down. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, he came in the truth community. He's gone home with Kim Kardashian.
This is real?
Yeah.
Well,
This is the third lie you're telling today.
No, dead ass.
No, where did he even meet?
You guys need to figure out when I'm joking or not.
This is the third
I'm
lie.
not Colombian, guys.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on now.
Wait,
Then
so
one
he
coming
bagged
out.
a single mother of 4?
This guy's dumb, bro.
So yeah, has anyone come and said, hey, Diego, hey, I'm going to need that $30 back?
I tell you what, no one has asked for money back in the community ever because they understand the value of what they achieve in the community. And again, it's slightly relative and we can play on words, but after them 90 days, when you understand what you have achieved and when you understand that you are in a position to, first of all, not be worrying about getting a girl because you understand and you're happy with your current situation as a person yourself. And then secondly, understand that you're in a position where you could actually, if you ever met the girl of your dreams, you could achieve and go to approach and communicate and be a man substantial enough for her. So it's relative, right? But yeah, guys have been in the program for 90 days and met girls that they're now with and achieve crazy things.
Yeah.
It's that initial like 10 days of really questioning yourself, understanding things. The amount guys can achieve when they change their perspective in 90 days is insane. And if you came in, if you actually had a look in the truth and understood kind of the formation, the situation we've got going on there, it's crazy supportive. You've literally just got an environment where hundreds of guys are posting daily videos of them killing it in the gym, asking questions to other guys who are answering their questions because he knows one thing, but he knows another thing. And then I can benefit everyone with this thing. And we're getting on a live call every Monday and Thursday and giving, like seminars with 50 guys in a group chat with everyone contributing and everyone learning and seeing everyone else investing time into their future, understand that competition. It's effective.
Is there ever a point where you're like, man, you're not meant to be part of this community?
Damn.
Jumps on the Zoom call, blue hair, come on.
You're not letting it into
A woman snuck in once. This ain't for you. She was like, no, I'm the masculine one in the lesbian relationship.
No way.
No, that was a joke.
Hey, you guys are catching
You're so
nothing.
good,
What's going on?
I'm not Colombian,
Sorry, we're not used to
guys.
lies, mate. We're not used to lies.
Bro, I thought so am I. Like, I hear it. I hear it,
It actually
bro.
makes
Actually
sense.
sounds believable.
It makes sense.
If a woman came in and did say that to me, I would happily give her advice on how
There
to
you go.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. But you're like, snap, I think I might have attracted the wrong person to the group right now or something.
people
or like,
have been kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there
There's a
are the
vetting
people
process.
that this is not.
Yeah, but not like because they got blue hair.
It's like the negative energy. Or
Is it because they gave like an incel vibe?
Yeah,
or
you know what I mean? Or,
And he's like, I don't want the next shooter on my hands.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because like, is there a feeling of like, I don't want this to become a
Page
cult?
1 the Times. Boy motivated by the truth to assassinate Prime Minister.
That's what I'm saying.
Just people who like I don't see actually understand that they need to change or they need to make a change or they want to. For me, and like any form of like negativity in that environment. It's not as such as you cannot be negative as a person. It's as that environment is a very protected environment. And I suppose if you saw the work that we put into it and the work that actually people, the community put into it every day to keep building each other up and to keep, you know, positive affirmations between each other and also accountability between each other, there's just no space for certain things. But not often. It's very rare where I just have to go to a guy and go, bro, you haven't been committed to the cause. You got blue hair. You're out.
You gotta get out of here.
You gotta bounce.
Dye your hair. You got 2 days to dye your hair.
Sort this out, man.
I was gonna ask because I haven't heard you speak about like finance side of things a lot. When you're speaking to guys, is it more of like, let's tackle your mentality and hopefully that will trickle into the finance side of things? Or do you sit them down and be like, yo, you need to get your money up if you want to succeed?
I'm an opportunist, not a business coach. So I've made my money off of taking opportunities, not of studying business and creating viable businesses. Therefore, I can't give financial advice. My best financial advice to any guy that's sitting there going, I have no money, I want to make money, is work on yourself, start to explore your brain and start to put things together and actually attack it with a stronger mentality. Other than that, you know, there's a million ways to make money and everyone knows the answers to different sections. So yeah, for me, it's more about that, having that psychological development. If someone asks me and say, how do I make money on social media? I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. Whether you have the facilities for that or not is slightly different. But you know, I've monetized on social media in 20 different ways.
Question. How do I make money on social media?
First of all, you need to build a brand. It's the most important thing. A lot of people are making money.
Personal brand?
Personal brand. You have to be someone that people massively relate to. And then, you know, you have to create awesome content. You have to stand out. You have to be authentic, and you have to get a shit ton of views. And then when you get that, you can make money through brand deals, through sponsorships. I'd say networking is huge. Always build really good relationship with brands, because I know a lot of brands that work with people because they like them and because they like their style, not necessarily because they're banging loads of views. And then, you know, you got ad revenue off many different platforms. If you're efficient with your content, you can post your content across 5 different platforms and make money off of, or, you know, 4 out of the 5 of them, excluding Instagram, which you can't really make money on. And then once you build a brand, you've got an opportunity to open a business and provide value through a business to your followers. You've also got an opportunity to build a community like I have around it, which isn't actually a money-making scheme, believe it or not. Not that any of you wouldn't, I don't expect you to, because like everyone does it for money. But, you know, that was like, we've made it a point where it's not as profitable as you may imagine.
Yeah, as it could be.
We care more about what we're putting into it. It's very time-consuming as well. Compared to like how I make money expending way less energy compared to putting so much energy to that and making less money is ironic. But a brand is the best way to build it and good relationships.
Do you feel like at this point you have a formula for your content that you're like, I know this one will go viral? How? Or to you, actually, what's the number to you where you're like, that's a viral piece of content?
Good question.
Of like, let's take a short form clip.
Yeah, it's more saturated right now. I remember the good old days on TikTok like 3 years ago where you could just post a bang average video and they just skyrocket to 10 million views. You could just put a pair of tits on the screen and it would do 10 million views straight away.
Still does.
So I have videos where I look at it and I go, I know that's going to bang. Where I'm very versatile with my content. I like to try different things, and sometimes I definitely feel like this video should really have done well and it doesn't. So you can never know 100%, but there are the videos that you get, but they're the videos that you can't help, you know, getting like the girl, stopping the girl 3 times in a row.
What's the chance?
And she's really cute and her reaction was like, you just stopped me 3 years in a row, you know that's going to do mad numbers. I'd say like my 3-4 videos that have done the top numbers, like over 20 million views on multiple platforms, have just been super organic. One was me going to give a girl a balloon in the middle of the street, which was for, you guys know Brent Fires, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing a campaign for one of his songs, and I had to go around basically giving his balloons out in public and like singing lyrics, like speaking lyrics to girls. And this girl ran up to me. She was like, "Can I have this balloon?"
I do remember
I
this.
was like, fuck, yeah, you can. And everyone thought it was set up, man. It was such a shame because it was such a beautiful moment. That is the last time I've cried to this day. And yeah, she got me crying on camera. Like you could see me.
You're so excited.
I wasn't
Yeah,
crying.
yeah.
I like had a tear in my eye, and I was like, "Fuck!" She made me cry. She was so beautiful. I was so overwhelmed with her energy, and that was like within the last 4 years, like probably the only time I've cried.
Wow.
So.
You
Yeah,
get
that
another
was super
balloon,
powerful. And then I was so proud to post it. I was like, this is a great moment. In the comments, like, shut up. I was like, fuck you guys. That was the last time I cried. Every time I read them comments.
How often do you read the comments? Do you like every video? I was like, I'm just gonna stay away from it.
Nah, I don't. I have people that reply to my comment, like people on my team that reply to the comments.
So instead of you saying, bro, go get it.
DMs with me.
That's a shame.
I get like we have 3 sections in our DMs. We have like anything business related, which I have my operations manager on. We have a general section, and you guys know like the general section in the middle. The general section is all guys that are trying to like get advice or improve, and that's the section I handle, which is dog work. I put like an hour, 2 hours into it every day. And the annoying thing
You
is,
don't just send them a link to your school.
For real.
well, essentially that like there will be a time where I've given a guy
pipeline,
loads of advice. We'll be like, bro, listen, bro,
Too much value. Pay me. Nah, I'm joking. Too much value, bro.
there'll be time where it's like, listen, I would love to help you on a day-to-day basis. I'd love to mentor you, you know, get in the program. But generally, yeah, that's where. But it's annoying because you're replying to a guy, and then you go to reply to the next guy, and you go to reply to the next guy, and then that guy replies, and you're in a conversation. But ideally, you'd be able to go through all of them, leave them, let them all reply, and then. But yeah, it's not quite as simple as that.
That is, that's not fun.
It's not.
I have a random.
Wait, hold on.
No, sorry,
What's the third section?
Oh, hello, true.
Oh, requests,
Okay.
all the things.
What do you think it was?
Just needed to hear it.
All the baddies, man. This is a completely random one, yeah. But like, why do you think that some guys that are in relationships still seek or search for validation or I guess attention from women when they're in happy relationships?
You're clever, you're clever.
This ain't asking for a friend.
I need to be more like you. You're calculated as fuck. Bro, I had that question lined up from the second I got it.
Random one just came to my head.
He got it right near the end as well, where he knows they're gonna go on a happy little car journey home.
Too much, man.
Yeah, you're clever. I'm trying to be like you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, sign up to my course,
My
man.
inspiration.
£50 a month. But yeah, like I don't know, what is it that you've observed that might be the reason why guys sometimes still search for that or seek for that, even if they're
Can't
very
leave
happy.
the streets.
Can't leave the streets, or like it might not even be that they're in the streets, but it's like they've got a good thing. There's rice at home, as we say, but they actually want to see what's good at takeout instead. Like, what is it?
Right, so there's 3 reasons come to the top of my head.
Oh,
One,
son,
like
this course is serious. You got reasons all the time.
Good value there, bro.
ill discipline, of course.
Yeah.
Like if you just ill disciplined as a person and you don't understand boundaries, you don't understand the concept of boundaries, and you have no empathy for your partner, then like, if I don't care about my girl, why am I gonna? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which obviously to us sounds stupid, or to us 3 sounds stupid. Little Mr. Intelligent over there. Mr.
If I wear
Calculated.
beard gold on my jacket, they'll think I'm perfect.
He's gonna start crossing his legs in a minute and sitting like this. And then the second reason is if that's what you're good at, you know, it's a comfort zone for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I had a huge problem, man. Like where I told you I thought that having sex with girls was meant to be difficult, but when I became very good at it, it suddenly became easier to me. And then I was almost proud that I was good at it. So it was like that cycle of doing something over again. Whereas it was actually a comfort zone for me. So there's that aspect to it. And then also people are almost like scared, especially in this generation. They're so scared that their partner's doing something that they want to just beat them to
Get
it.
ahead of it. Damn.
I would not be surprised the amount of relationships now where both people are just doing their own thing because they're ready for bad news.
It's madness.
and deep it, as soon as you're actually disloyal to your
crazy.
partner, and I'll say this like 100%, this is probably my least red pill opinion. When you are disloyal to your partner, you will fall out of some form of love.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a tiny bit, you will lose massive amounts of purity and you will lose a certain level of connection with that woman. Can you still love her 100%? Can you have kids with her 100%? Can you reach the absolute peak of your capability of love? No, you will lose that. Whether I think that's right or wrong is still dependent on the people. But if you want to achieve the maximum level of love and purity with your woman and your man in a relationship, you should remain loyal.
That keeping yourself in check by not doing things is a weird psychology, because like that aspect of like, let's say you really love someone, you're 5-6 years deep, whatever, you cheat on them, and to be honest sounds bad, but it's like most of the time in a man cheating sense, it's like the woman's gonna think about how much there is to lose by leaving, all this kind of stuff. And if she stays, I feel like there's this psychology of like, it sounds so messed up, of like, I know I did this and she forgave me for it. And it's like some level of respect switches in your mind, which sounds so messed. Even though you're grateful that you're forgiven, you're like...
Oh, you're saying in a negative sense.
To almost...
No, it fucks everything.
It literally, I think that's what it is. It's not that this is like somebody gets one up on somebody or anything. Like, literally, you've effed it all by that decision of cheating, by not having that self-control into not doing whatever. It's like, to know that she's forgiven me makes this other party go, I almost don't respect that you forgave me, because this is so disrespectful what I did.
And also from experience as a guy, if you lose that level of trust for yourself and you understand that you struggle to be loyal, you're going to lose that level of trust for her, and you're going to start actually verbally and emotionally attacking her.
Yeah.
And then you're going to flip the script. Everything has to be her fault.
Crazy.
You're going to start manipulating, and then the tables go down from there.
Crazy.
100%.
Yeah.
And you're going to think like, you're going to be paranoid that she's going to do it. It's crazy because you're the one who did it. Because you're paranoid that she's going to do it.
But also, like, in your mind, you're like, it makes sense because I do deserve to be treated this way if you go out and do this.
Like, what do you mean you're not doing this? Do it.
But
don't do it. Yeah, now it's a cycle.
Has anyone
That's
read the,
crazy.
the 4 agreements?
The four who?
The 4 agreements?
I mean, you can...
No one's read it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Carlos,
This is a full-
this is Mr. Read Your Books.
I've seen it. I was like, I don't know, this is my kind of book
Best,
to read.
best book,
yeah.
best book ever, best book ever. I'd recommend it over listening to me.
He said, this is where I get on mine.
It's literally,
loves it.
the truth is just copy and paste. It basically has a section in it. Unbelievable, the 4 agreement has a section in it which says you will allow someone to treat you slightly better than you treat yourself. So if you abuse yourself heavily, you will allow someone in your life, a partner, a friend, to abuse you slightly less, even to the point of physicality,
they're still treating you better.
mentally, etc. As long as they're treating you slightly better than you treat yourself. So that's why when you begin to treat yourself so well at a high level, you're like, fuck.
Your standards.
Your standards go high, no one suddenly fits the criteria. But that's how we all should be, right? There should be a criteria that needs to be fitting. And if everyone in society had a high criteria of partners, then suddenly people start upping their performance because they realize they can't get into meaningful relationships without hitting a certain level of criteria. Like, when you start to actually believe, trust, and respect yourself to that level, the environment, the people around you will also start leveling up.
That purity topic or point that you have it's an opinion that I actually like that you have, because it's not something
Yeah,
that
I thought you would. I thought you would. Funny you say that.
No, but like it's
Let me
not-
guess, you believe that the man should provide as well.
Nah, this guy, man. But I
Actually, this is the #1 advocate for being a stay-at-home dad.
100%, bro. I'm by my apron. I'm ready. I'm ready. But like, because it's not an opinion that that people expect. They would expect you to have, right? The whole value of like love is actually a very valuable thing, as well as like actually keeping that love pure or keeping that love void of like, mistreating
Corruption.
each other, corruption, whatever that might be. Like, protecting it. Like, it's something that like I feel like our society or our just generation we're veering away from, that we don't hold this as something that has so much power anymore. Love is people are even looking, love is detrimental, love is negative. Like it's a very interesting society that we're in now where
Fuck
it's-
love.
Yeah, like literally what's it got to do for me? Like I'm playing myself. It doesn't exist anymore. It's not as powerful. But it's something that you say like, as much as little things you add to it, it actually destroys something that is meant to be very pure and beautiful at the end of the day. So I don't know. Yeah, why do you have that, or why do you hold that belief of keeping that love pure and whatever?
Because I'm an intelligent human.
Sign up to the course.
No, but it is. Yeah. It's intelligence, right? When you trust yourself. Here's the thing: you can allow love when you trust yourself. Because what's the biggest fear around love? It's heartbreak, right? Essentially, it's that someone's gonna betray our trust and love, and that's gonna set us back from where we actually originally started. But as a guy, when you work on yourself so much, and when you trust yourself, and when you appreciate yourself and respect yourself, if someone breaks that level of love and trust, of course it's gonna be a bit of a setback. Of course you're gonna feel a type of way about it, but you're gonna be set. You're gonna be there. Now I'm in a situation as a man where if someone ever betrayed my love, whether that's family, friends, a woman, I know my therapy is in the gym, and I know I've got to hustle harder and use that as power and motivation and force for good, right? When you know that, you're unbeatable. Because every negative thing that happens to you in life, from the lowest of the lows to something even casual on a day-to-day basis causing stress, you know that you can use that as a force for good. And usually that force is even more powerful than something coming from good energy or good vibes. When you have that real pain that can push you through that extra kilometer on a run, or that extra hour up at night when you're really trying to get something and it's not cracking, or you're staying up late editing a podcast and you want to go to sleep, but you know you've got to get that fucking money, you know, and that's what keeps you locked in. So for me, it's just that level of trust in yourself. If I differ my first relationship and my second relationship, and my 2 heartbreaks, it was crazy. Like first one, it was wow, like carnage. Never thought I'd meet another girl.
You flatline, man.
We've all been there, right? I've all been there. Never thought we'd see another partner in life. I thought it was the one. Mine was a Latina, so it was even more horrible. And you know, like feeling of emptiness. And the second time you're like, I've been here before. At least you have the feeling that you know you're gonna survive. I think that's the most important feeling. When you know you're gonna survive and you're gonna get through it, and it actually will ironically get better. You can deal with it. You can cope with it. You can use mechanisms.
I like that, because like it's almost like you can be freely give, not freely like blasé and I'm nonchalant about it, but you can fully give yourself to love and loving someone else, because you know that you can always push through whatever it is that comes. Like because people hold back, I think, and maybe that's why our society is that we hold back because of that fear and because of the pain or staying away from the pain. But you can actually fully give yourself, I guess, to that love or that experience of showing love to someone else, because you're like, at the end of the day, this doesn't reflect on me, or this. If I put it in like a Christian sense, what's the verse? It's like we love because he first loved us, right? Kind of thing. Like, you know, you've got a basis of how you can love other people because you already feel that, and you know that, and you're solid within that for yourself. So there's no fear of trying to hold that back from other people, and I think that's what we might be really truly lacking in our generation. It's looking cold out here, man. Bro, are we just gonna have no
these streets where I live?
I was gonna say, what
chilly
does
place.
dating look like in your scene up in London?
Just super high expectations from girls, a big like lack of energy from guys, and just kind of like, I don't know, I think guys feel sorry for themselves, girls want the world and feel like they have to provide nothing. So I don't think it's going very well. I think it's either like casual sex or just girls using men for free dinners these times. Girls are really out here grabbing just free dinners. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie though, even like my algorithm though, it shows me the UK guys are very flashy. So I can understand why the UK women are like, you must.
What do you mean by the UK guys?
The ones that I see on my timeline,
Right.
they're driving the nice cars, they're blinged out jewelry all the way up to their necks. They've, you know, the gym dudes, and the way that they just like,
Is
present
that in it?
themselves.
90% of us are on the street corner trying to shot crack, darling.
I mean, the ones that I see, like a lot of them are very much like, I'm him and I can provide. So I understand why, if that's what is being portrayed to, you know, your average UK woman, she's like, okay, well, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm expecting from the guys as well.
Yeah, I don't know the statistic, but I think it's something like, you know, the top like 1% of guys are sleeping with like 50-60% of the woman.
Yeah, match.
It's true.
That's
And
crazy.
then them
That is
60% of the woman, they're not going to get commitment from that one guy
From
because
that
he's
one
sleeping
guy,
with the rest. So then they're looking at these other guys that aren't sleeping with hello woman, expecting commitment, but they
same.
don't reach the standards that the guy does.
It's already set.
Don't you think this is all just so unhealthy? Like for your
It
for our
is.
souls, like all of it. Like
Unless you understand it, and that comes back to my very first point of understanding. When you understand it, you can And
Take a
release.
deep breath.
And release.
I'll give you one thing that like I always see this as unhealthy is young girls. I'm talking 20 to 30, right? Getting flown out to Dubai, getting this, whatever, by some older guy, all this. And I'm like, you've wired yourself to think this is normal, and then you want to lock down eventually. You know you're not going to, what you're saying, you're not going to get commitment from these guys, rarely. Like, that's a 1 in a million, right? But then it's like, you're upset at your 26-year-old peer because he's not, you think he doesn't love you because he's not flying you to the Bahamas or whatever. It's like, but it's your fault. You wired yourself for this. Same thing, the guys. It's like you meet the respectful girl that's like, nah, I'm trying to wait till marriage, and it's like, nah. Every other girl's put out for me, so now I'm gonna throw this relationship away. Like all of this is so unhealthy.
But the difference between 10 years ago and now, 10 years ago, girls were still getting flown about hell now. Now ugly girls are getting flown out.
So everyone's getting packed
Sorry,
up now.
cover your
No,
ears.
you're fine.
Imagine you're putting an ugly gal in a private jet. That's crazy. Like, bro, your eyebrows aren't even like, they're connected.
Wait, are you talking about Tommy Fury?
No, I'm just talking. Oh, I see that. I don't believe that.
No, you don't believe it?
Nah,
It seems a bit.
I know a lot of girls.
Cash grab,
I went
yeah.
on that podcast. And them, I know them guys, and they're very much like, say this for this. But these girls are all like that. These girls are all like that. Like,
Yeah.
I believe Tommy's stupid, but not that stupid. Like,
Not that drunk.
Captain Morgan's can only do so much
Yeah,
to a
not that
human
much.
being. That's crazy. But yeah,
But a Magnum though, it might.
a girl literally has to provide no value, and she can get on a private jet here and there. Because these guys with passive income will just do anything to get laid, and that's nothing. If a man's got like,
That's so unhealthy
few
for
M's
these
and-
men's souls.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
yeah. But bear in mind, men now are in a society where when we're on the come up, we're not getting nothing. So when we're there,
Give
we
me
want everything.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's all just mad reversed. Everything, the cycle's just flipped and
Yo,
combobulated. And that's why you just got to be so internally happy and peaceful yourself.
so
And that's why
Yeah,
you
facts,
literally got to
facts,
be
facts.
here like,
I like me.
imagine how easy
Yeah.
it is for someone like me to just go, I don't want a woman. I want to spend my whole life living in Latin America, sleeping with 50 girls a night. Like, for me, that would be so easy. I'd have the finances to do it. I'd have the looks to do it. I'd have the connections to do it. I'd have the lifestyle to do it. And I'd even like be able to probably make a flipping documentary about it. I'd be the next Dan Bilzerian.
Oh, man.
You know? So if a guy like me can sit here and go,
I don't want to do
the,
that.
the thought of a wife and kids and a couple of huskies at home is the most fulfilling and amazing thought, then you guys can do it too.
Yeah. He's definitely English. He said he wants huskies.
Yeah, the Huskies, that's what got me, man.
Is that English? Why?
I don't know. It feels like a white people dog.
So I was like, wait, you want
I
to
love
be
that
something
for you.
cold? What's going on here, man? Yeah, we got him, boys.
2 hours, but
Nah, I think at the end of the like we are straying further and further away from beauty, from love, from God, man. That we need to bring
Get it
this
together.
back
Yeah.
and get it together. But I think at the end of the day, if people can sit down and see the type of messaging that you have, and beyond, I guess, the entertainment value and the comedy from what we've seen all over the years, like it's at the end of the day, we want to see people and men specifically contributing to this society in a positive way. You know, I mean, I think when we look at the morals and what's going on around, like these are the type of like sound or grounding kind of principles that are required or needed. Because it's mad out here, man. Yes, it's cold. I'm warm, but
Yes.
it's cold. Oh man, hey, I mean, you already told us what is coming next. Is there anything else that we can look forward to? I mean, aside from content, is it? Do you take a break after you're dropping that kind of stuff? What's wait, what a dumb question,
No
right?
break.
You guys started off
No
telling
break.
us there's no break.
On this, when have you
disclaimer for the team, no break. I'm sorry.
when have you celebrated, or like what was there? Like was there a material possession where you're like, you know what?
I deserve
I bought
this.
myself a nice watch for this, or I bought nothing.
Oh, wow.
Nice whip. No.
Goodness
Do you
gracious.
think you ever will? Like unknown.
I think the first thing that would really be like to me, is probably a house.
Yeah.
That's for me. Not that whether I could or couldn't now, but when I actually have the time and
Lock in for that.
Yeah. It's a big
that's
purchase.
probably something to me where I'll be like, do you know what?
Damn.
Well done. You've just set us. You've actually put a seed to grow.
Yeah.
Because now all of this is just like fake flowers.
Yeah.
Literally fake flowers. I haven't actually planted a physical seed yet that's sustainable. So
Do you think generationally, like beyond your time here, like do you think about like my kids, my
Like
grandkids?
legacies?
Yeah.
nah. I think that's selfish.
My brother.
That's really this
That's
guy.
him
I think
as
that's
well.
selfish.
You think it's selfish to
Yeah, I think it's selfish to think about legacy.
Oh,
Wait, what do you mean?
explain?
What the f?
Let me just pause the knuckle. Yeah, finish this, and then I'll see if I come back again.
It's too late. It's too late.
You might take it
isn't
back.
it selfish to not?
What right do I have to be in people's mouths, have people talking about me and loving me and telling people how amazing I am, when there's a whole new generation of people that are trying to achieve the same thing? I'm gone. Someone else's time. You understand?
But that's if you do it from a perspective of I want to be in their mouths. Pause. like, because what I'm like
You
there's
can only pause after you actually clock what you can't set something up when you're ready to pause it.
no, because
Like, bro wanted to pause.
because it was pause-worthy when you said it. I just needed to finish the sentence. Because, like, there's a great quote that I love. It's strong men plant trees in the shades of which they will never sit. Right? And so it's like that kind of concept where it's like that's one way I view property, where it's like when I get into it and all that kind of stuff, it's like I know I can't live in 7 houses. But I know that 200 years after I'm gone, a generation that I don't know and don't know me could still eat off it. You know? They might just be, oh, that's pretty dope. Great grandpa left us this. But like, who the heck is great grandpa? But it's taking care of something. I don't know.
Is that even the best thing to do though?
Maybe not. Maybe is.
Give your
Maybe
kids a
is.
house ready so they don't have to work for it or buy it themselves. Is that the best thing to do?
I hear you.
Right?
Well, I think it is.
Wait.
I was gonna say, I wish I had that.
What's the alternative?
We didn't
though?
ask
Is
you.
is the alternative that we constantly live the same cycles though? Like because that's a failure to me. If my next generation lives the exact same cycle I lived, that's a
Yeah.
bit of a failure.
Yeah.
Like we're meant to be upping.
Why?
Like
Are you happy as a person?
I'm happy.
Are you healthy?
Thank God I am. Yeah.
So what's wrong with the generation after you?
Living the exact same life.
You had to hustle.
I'm hustling now.
So they had to hustle, but they're happy in their
But
hustle.
their hustle can look different.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be
Like-
from the start. It doesn't have to be
Your,
from
your
Like they
hustle,
have the
your hustle,
resources.
it was ugly. It was an ugly hustle.
Can't say it's the ugliest.
Okay, so it was a fairly ugly hustle. They're happy and they're healthy. I'm not seeing the problem.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know your
Yeah,
life story,
yeah.
but I'm not seeing the problem. I think
Yeah.
the ugly hustle makes for the most beautiful life.
I hear it.
There's certain stuff where I appreciate now that a normal man couldn't appreciate because I've been in situations where when you come from London, you're in them situations.
Yeah.
So it's relative. I'm not even proposing these from a standpoint of knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm proposing these from a standpoint of
Curiosity.
shit's fucked.
Yeah, I hear it.
And I smile at that.
Yeah,
I actually, I don't know why it gives me like energy. It's like there's actually no answers. There's no win.
But at the end of the day, we
There's
said
no
rules.
right. There's no
There's no
rules to this
rules.
life. They're 100%. Word to Specs, your friend. There's no rules.
Man, like inspection, all the way out here in Melbourne getting
You know what
shout
it
outs.
is.
Yeah, tell them to come through when they're here.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, for me, I don't even know.
You didn't come back for the second spot, bro. What's going on?
No. I'm still because
I don't know if you did.
I'm
I don't know if
looking.
you
Your
agree
mind
with
has
the
been
second one.
changed.
Yeah, but I'm actually a little bit more still in agreement with what you're saying.
I'm
Still.
just waiting for another spot.
'Cause my thing is-
my day. My G.
Because my thing is just like, I don't know, like, what can we change? Like, I'm fully gone and I can do so much, but at the end of the day, like,
So that you can change. I think you can just
Figure it
make
out.
your kids' lives easier.
yeah, for the most
Of
part, I guess.
course.
But
You know, because I mean, as simple as what Nori's saying, house prices, right? You know, who knows? In the next 50 years, it can be like, I don't know, $5 million now. I don't know.
But what if you make your kids' life easier and then your kids come to a point in where they're 22 years old and they can't maintain that level of lifestyle that you've given them and provided for them, and then psychologically they're not as healthy as they would be if...
They're not a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? They're just...
Why not? Back
No,
yourself, brother.
Yeah, no, I know. But in this situation, we just keep it nice and easy, right? It's just a house being paid off, which can...
Right, okay.
You know, that's
They
a
got a
huge...
roof over their
That's
Yeah.
$3,000 to $5,000 a month you don't have to worry about. But you still have to focus on your career, what it is that you want to do. I'm not giving them $10 million and saying, well, you don't have to hustle anymore.
Got you.
Because to be fair, regardless of what you want or don't want, your kids are going to be better off than what you've experienced. Because you're doing well, right? And you're not going to not take care of your kids. Because your kids are your experience. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
you've
it's
got
like,
lessons too.
and
already.
now they're gonna have their own experience, but they fathering them is your experience, and it would be
a failure on you.
a failure on you to let them experience the rough thing. Because on this whole thing, it's like I hear it of like, what if they don't have trials? What if they, or like what we view as trials, right? In our experiences so far, but it's like also not my experience, but some people's experience where it's like, okay, we've had success. It's like if I allow my kids to have trials of growing up in Harlem, growing up in all these rough places around the world, they may not live to 22. And you know what I mean? It's like
That's
that,
levels,
it's the levels
yeah.
when it comes to this. Yeah, I don't know. But like you said, I don't know.
Yeah. I guess my outlook's just a bit softer. Like, I think people, when they talk about the streets and when they talk about growing up in rough places, they milk it a bit, you know. Like, the streets were rough. Like, as I said, I'm from London. It doesn't get much more gruesome, and especially now where London's so petty, and you really do have 10-year-olds just running around with machetes. So, you know, growing up in that environment, I don't know. For me, it's just personally like, I've seen everything, done everything, heard everything, and I don't need to talk about it all the time. Like, so, but it's, yeah.
Hey man, we'll wait till that day. Wait till that day, man. Wait till you get that crib and that wife, the Huskies, and the
That's
kids.
it, and the kids.
And the kids, man.
For sure.
If I have a baby girl, it's gonna be so like hypocritical.
For real.
Princess, you're the Barbie doll house. I got you.
important thing is Gucci.
You're gonna see my Christmas photo, all in Gucci
crazy.
Christmas jumps.
Same pajamas. Cool.
You guys gonna be watching it. You guys gonna be in the comments. You fucking traitor.
This fraud.
I'm gonna get my PA to reply to all of you.
Oh, man. Nah,
Fuck you.
Nah, Diego, thank you for your time,
Yeah,
man.
thank
This was
you,
fun.
heaps.
Hope you enjoy. Is this your first piece of content with creators in Australia, or were you collabing with people? Or?
Nah,
Collab.
I've had a couple link
Yeah.
ups and yeah. But first podcast in Australia.
Ah, dope.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, nah, thanks for
for
coming.
coming.
through,
Fun.
man. It was dope.
Thank you for joining us. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, do all the usual things. Share this one around. You can follow Diego, whoever you need to follow him. It'll be in the description and on this video right now. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye.